His brows were wrinkled tightly. Brother Wei, we got out, but I don't know what happened to Bai Kiwei and the others. I sighed. Let's hope they are safe. Before I could finish, Red made a sharp scream. I thought she was just being dramatic and was about to scold her when Song Jian also stopped. I realized something was wrong and turned towards the cabin door. 2 submachine guns were aimed straight at us. Then, a familiar laugh was heard. Thanks for your concern, I did not fall into the Hukbalahap's hands. It was Bai Kiwei. Song Jian and I looked at each other, could not speak. Moments ago, we had been worrying about his safety, and now, very quickly, we were in his power. Bai Kiwei stepped out from between the 2 gunmen, still dressed as a priest, his face showing he had won. He smiled in a mean way. Quite a coincidence, isn't it? We tried climbing the cliffs to reach the island, but failed. We were searching the caves for a way through to the inner waters when we found your speedboat. Just as we got on, Mr. Wei showed up. That little sea battle was exciting, wasn't it? Song Jian's voice was low and steady. Kiwei, tell them to lower their guns. Bai Kiwei's face became dark. He smiled in a mean way, and the 2 gunmen made their weapons ready. A very loud rat-tat-tat sound filled the air as they fired many shots, the gun ends flashing. But the bullets were not aimed at us, they shot into the cabin ceiling. A jagged hole opened in the cabin roof, like a new window. I took a deep breath and looked at Red. Her face was pale, but she stood firm, not shaken by the confusion. Inside, I could not help but admire her. She was brave, careless, maybe, but not without courage. Once the gunfire stopped, Song Jian said back, "What was that? A show of force?" Bai Kiwei's voice was cold like ice. Exactly. If you 2 had not shown a bit of concern for me in your little talk, those bullets would be in your chests right now. Give me the 25 steel plates now. No tricks this time. I can kill you here, and no one would ever know. Don't think I will not. I had already thought about that terrible possibility. Out here, in the middle of the ocean, Bai Kiwei could kill us all and disappear without a trace. He probably planned to do it, but our casual words about him had saved us. I feared Song Jian might refuse and make things worse, so I interrupted. Brother Song, let's say he wins for now. Give him the plates. Song Jian's voice was low and steady. Kiwei, you know how dangerous the Hukbalahap are. Why are we fighting each other when we should be working together against them? Bai Kiwei smiled in a mean way. Don't worry about, just give Ethmaver. He raised his hand slowly, and we all knew what that meant. One small movement, and the gunman next to him would shoot without thinking. Song Jian's face twisted with frustration, but he moved. He unbuttoned his jacket and untied a leather bag from his belt. Bai Kiwei shouted, "Throw it at my feet." Don't worry, Song Jian said coldly. I will not aim for your face. With a quick move, he threw the bag to the floor. It was not giving up, it was necessary. Bai Kiwei and his men blocked the door, leaving us no space to move. Bai Kiwei bent down and grabbed it. We watched as he untied the bag and counted the steel plates, one by one. 25, all there. When he finished, a proud smile spread across his face. Good. Now, there are life jackets in the cabin. You are getting off this boat. Song Jian and I looked at him, shock and anger boiling inside us. Floating in the open sea was a death sentence, especially here. This part of the ocean was famous for sharks. During World War II, many soldiers had died in these waters, torn apart by tiger sharks. We both knew Bai Kiwei had decided, and since we would never beg, we would have to take our chances with fate. But Red shouted, "I protest." Bai Kiwei smiled in a mean way. Protest what? She stood up straight, very serious. Leaving prisoners at sea breaks the Geneva Convention. None of us expected that. Even with the danger, Song Jian and I laughed out loud. Even Bai Kiwei smiled a little. Fine, he said, laughing softly. If you die, you will not see me succeed anyway. I realized then that Bai Kiwei might not have truly planned to throw us into the sea. His real goal was to break us, to make us beg. But Song Jian and I were very strong, we would never beg. In a situation like this, he might have done what he threatened. Red's sudden words, however, had surprised him. She had saved us without even knowing it. Bai Kiwei waited, then said, "All right, Miss Wang, tie their hands behind their backs." He pulled strips of leather from his pocket and threw them to her. Red waited, but I urged, "Do it." She picked up the strips and tied Song Jian's hands, then mine. Bai Kiwei pointed at Song Fu, lying on the floor. "Is he dead?" "No," I said. He is unconscious. Tie him up to hands and feet, Bai Kiwei ordered. Red protested. Tying his hands is enough. Why his feet? Bai Kiwei smiled in a mean way. Miss, a little discomfort is better than being eaten by sharks. It's almost like a day at the beach compared to that, right? Red made an angry sound but tied all three of us by the ankles. Song Jian and I looked at each other with bitter smiles, helpless. Once we were tied up, sitting still, Red walked over to Bai Kiwei and held out her hands. My turn. He laughed. You are saved. No, she said sharply. Who asked for your mercy? Bai Kiwei laughed loudly. With you three, that's 6 mouths to feed. You are on kitchen duty. Red said back, don't tie my hands, and you will regret it. He smiled in a mean way. I would like to see you try. Follow me. Red looked at us, then walked out of the cabin.